Hello there, Liz. It's great to have you here on the show. How are you? Are you well?
All is good. A little bit hot, but all is good.
Good. Well, thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming onto my podcast, Blocked to Blessed. Obviously, you have had a bit of journey yourself, and you are a businesswoman yourself. I wonder if you would like to just introduce yourself first. Who are you and what do
Who,
you do?
who am I? Well, if I start with my nickname's Tigger, people might think, "Oh my goodness," because I do have a lot of energy, Sam. I do have, as you well know.
Yeah.
Um, so my name's Liz, and I run my own mental health and wellbeing charity. It has been coming up 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. It's my passion about supporting others. I'm also a qualified holistic therapist with hypnotherapy, all energy work and things like that. So I find it really beneficial, especially when we're working with children with their mindset, that it helps on a more holistic basis.
Okay, great. So, did you have a moment in time, a light bulb moment, or a spiritual awakening?
Oh my goodness, I've had loads of those, Sam.
Okay.
Okay, so I think my first massive one was back in 2003. I had a psychotic episode, and for those who don't know what that is, it's basically where it is a spiritual awakening, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I probably learned the hard way. However, it also gave me time to reflect on myself as well. I experienced different realms. It might sound very, delusions. And in the Western culture, we are quite close to that. But I
Yeah.
think if I was in another country, I'd be a born healer, like shamanism and things like that. So
I love it.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was my first proper spiritual awakening. Yeah, I got a section for it. Cheers for that.
And do you remember how you felt in that? Was there a lot of fear? Was there?
I've had several, well, quite a few
Hmm.
psychotic episodes. They've all been very different. However, the first one was, my goodness, it was a state of euphoria that I actually had magical powers, like literally had superpowers. And it was like I
Yeah.
was a full-blown medium, like could predict things. But it just got to the point where it was too much. I wasn't been able to manage it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
because I've done a lot of self-reflection over the last, my goodness, 20 years, I've learned to manage that as well.
Okay. So, did you from that moment choose to embrace your spirituality?
I did, because don't get me wrong, it was frightening, but I don't think I had much insight in it. I wasn't aware.
Hmm.
And then I reached out and started to do some research. I then had subsequent ones every year for the following 5 years, but they were all very different. Some in a state of paranoia,
Yeah.
delusions, seeing things. And it was frightening. I can't say it wasn't, but it was also allowing me to explore a different kind of subject in spirituality, energy work, the unknown.
Yeah.
Um, and I enjoyed it because I wanted to find out more about it. I wanted to gain information. I met different people that were into spiritual stuff and all different with crystals. So it was like a little journey in finding out and gathering, like a
Absolutely.
sponge absorbing that kind of information.
Okay. And do you feel that embracing your spiritual self, has it changed your mindset about being in business, doing what you do?
Oh
How has
my
it
goodness.
changed
Yeah. I mean,
to before
yeah,
this?
yes. I mean, I use it within the charity because, as I said, a mental health and well-being. Your mind is so powerful. Oh my goodness, it's so powerful. It all connected, mind, body, and spirit. We always talk about that.
Yeah.
And if you learn to embrace it in a way that you experience and go with it, it's actually quite incredible how you can use your mind and what's out there to help you in business and help with, especially with my charity. I mean, we've all heard of the law of attraction and things like that.
Yeah.
It works both ways. I'm a very firm, oh, excuse me, a very firm believer in that. But it's also about aligning with your true purpose, and also people that get you as well.
Yeah.
That's important. I think.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's really important that we work with the people, I believe, that we are supposed to work with. And, you know, attraction is an energetic thing. And that attraction doesn't just occur on a romantic level. That attraction occurs on a client level, a friendship level, a client level, all of that. So you've increased your awareness of connection, would you say, through opening up to being spiritual as well as business minded?
100%. And the different people I've met along the way, even prior to COVID, have helped me. But I would say probably more so in COVID, because I was able to meet people from different counties, like your kind self, Sam,
Yeah.
that were also, when I had a conversation, because I think I met you about maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years.
And you totally understood what I was saying. And you also answered questions that I wasn't sure about. And that really helped me from a coach point of view, but also from a spiritual coach point of view, because
Yeah.
it's like a different language, and you understood my language. And because sometimes you think, am I crazy? Is that really happening to me? That is, you see it on films, which doesn't help. And then when you speak to someone like your kind self, no, Liz, that happens, and I'm like, yay,
Normal. It's normal. Move along.
it's normal, yeah, exactly. And I
Nothing
think,
to see.
it's so true. And I think I've been in the corporate world, doing a lot of training, well-being and all that kind of thing. And it's very corporate. And I think COVID gave me the opportunity to think, what am I doing? Why am I being controlled? I need to branch out. And that's when I left and set up the charity, which took me a year. I
Yeah.
did get rejected 3 times, but I was not giving up. It was my passion.
Determined.
So determined. And I think you need to be. And even though you might take 10 steps back, because I tried it before, about 6 years prior to that, and it wasn't the right time. But I had a lot more work to do on myself. And obviously,
Yeah.
myself working with you, that helped. And now is the right time. So things have escalated in a very positive way.
Fabulous. Because there is always that need for, if you want your business to grow, you have to grow as a person as well to be able to be all that business growth will need you to be. I funny enough, I just recorded a little TikTok about how if you want expansion, you've got to put your mind into the version of you that's got that expansion already, because otherwise you've got limited beliefs because you only know what you've created up till this point. So do you do that? Do you use the techniques that I've shown you to project yourself forwards?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, when I met you, I must admit, it is worth listening. It's definitely worth listening. It's no point. It's being accountable as well, because you can go to a spiritual coach or go to a coach, and then it goes in one ear and out the next. I'm not like that. I do practice. So if you give me something to do, I will practice it, because there's no point going to someone if you don't practice it. But it's very interesting what you said about self-reflection. And I remember, and limiting beliefs. I remember someone said to me once, I said, I'm going to do this. I'm determined. I'm going to, email this. And I was very, very passionate. I wanted to do it. And that person said, you can't do that, Liz. So I just sat there, and she sat there, and she went, actually, Liz, she goes, you can. It's me that wouldn't do it. I can't. And that was like a moment for me that I thought, do you know what? I can do anything. And I truly believe that if you set your mind to it with the right tools and techniques, you can achieve anything in this world. It's actually other people's limiting beliefs that say, oh, you can't do that.
Absolutely.
And then you think, oh, and then the little monkey brain goes, and the little chimp in there, oh, no, you can't do that. She's far better than you. And you think, so it's a belief as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you were to give advice to someone who perhaps is spiritual but keeps that aspect of themselves hidden, what would you say to them if they were listening to this?
Right. Interesting question, Sam, because I have never, ever felt so amazing. And don't get me wrong, I do have my challenges and I do have my downtimes. But when I have found my voice and actually became the person who is Tigger, and sort of developed my spiritual energy, and talked about and wasn't afraid of who I am, my goodness, I've never, ever been so happy. And I think in business and running my charity, that comes through my passion. And when I meet other people, I don't apologize for who I am. I'm just
No,
myself.
never.
And I attract the right kind of people that want to work with me.
Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic. And they love my energy. And that's a good thing. And if someone you meet doesn't, which I do meet, that's okay. That is okay, because that's fine what they do, but they're not aligned with what I want to do. So I won't work with them. And I know that sounds a bit harsh, but it is all about alignment. It's a meeting the right kind of people like your kind self. And we had that fantastic event we went to, and I met the most amazing 7 women, all business women. All
my Lionsgate. You're talking about my Lionsgate retreat day.
Yeah, your Lionsgate retreat.
I'm already excited for next year. I can't wait.
Oh, it's fantastic. I've got a couple of my friends that are interested as well.
Fabulous.
But it was brilliant because it was business women getting together that want to achieve the same thing, that working together in partnership, all with the same values and beliefs, and want to make a difference in this world. And it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
And one of the ladies was hugging a tree, and I thought, crack on. That's not my bag. That's not my bag. But that's fine.
To my retreats.
Well, but that's fine, because it wasn't my bag. But there's no judgment there. Crack on.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And it is one of those things. It's that when I don't think people realize that when they step into being themselves, they're stepping into authenticity, which basically removes all the bullshit. And so because of that, people get you. Whether they like you or not is a different matter, but they get you, and if they get you and you get them, then that's an alignment. That's your perfect tribe. That's your perfect client or someone to collab with. It really is about, and that's where abundance comes from. Because if you're putting on a show and pretending to be somebody else, don't start complaining that you're misunderstood or no one gets you. Show up as who you are. So you're showing up and you're shining, that's for sure.
I am. I'm no longer under that little rock, Sam. I've popped out.
Good.
I'm like, the fairground. The fairground, when you get those little things, bop her down. Oh, no, I'm coming back up. I'm coming back up.
Right back up and then some. I love it. Powering up, as we say. Exactly. So if anybody wanted to reach out and get in touch with you, they may be interested in working with you as a collab or as a client, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Via the website, which is Heads to Minds. I'm on social media. I'm not too sure about Instagram, but I've heard TikTok, and I know you discussed it. TikTok's the way forward as well. So would you kindly share with your coaching? I think people can definitely contact me with regards to one-to-one support, or even finding out what events we do, because I know we're doing a couple next year as well. But I think what's important is finding someone who's a coach that is aligned with you really makes a difference. And I know that since I met you, Sam, there was no judgment. You're very direct, which I love. There's no bullshit. You say what it is. And I think I needed someone that was strong enough to be able to deal with me as well.
Handle you.
What? You are? I didn't hear that.
Someone strong enough to handle you.
Yeah.
and your energy field, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I think also I just want to say is when I first started out, there was skepticism there. Absolutely. There really was. And I think I knew there was something there, but it was the unknown. And there was a lot of fear. And I thought, I do believe it, but I don't. And I was going back and forth. And I remember once, I will just share this because I think this is quite important. I've always known that I've had like someone looking at me, like a guardian angel and things like that. So I do a lot of, obviously, angel cards and things like that. I always knew, but I wasn't 100%. I thought, is it? I'm not sure. So I was looking for 3 things to put on my grand's grave, who passed away a couple of years before. And it was a flower, a ribbon, and a silver cross. Okay. Anyway, I put it out there. I got sent a bouquet of flowers. So Daryl said, my partner, you can use that. And then there was a ribbon around it. He can use that. Anyway, I took the dogs for a walk, and I was over in the park, and I was drawn to this lady on a bench. So I went over there, and I was just chatting about the weather, like you do. And she said, I've got something to give to you. And I didn't know her, by the way. I did not know her from Adam. She got out of her pocket and she handed me a silver cross. Right?
An earth angel. Yeah.
It was. And I was like, I went all goosey, all angel bumply. And I went, and that was like the moment I thought, Liz, 100% belief. Stop fanning about with like, oh, is it true? Is it not?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's like slap bang, like a cricket back across your head. Wake up and realize that this stuff is real, you know?
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
And you've not looked back.
No,
as
not
we
looked
say.
back.
No, brilliant. What a great story. But it's just, I feel that when you're in touch with your spiritual self, because that's the soul, I just think you're naturally happier. I really do, because you know, as long as you're obviously looking after your energy self, you're looking after your spiritual self. So what tip would you give someone today in terms of who wants to make that transition into being spiritual and business minded? What's the one thing they could do for themselves right now?
Contact you. By the way, I'm not. Just for anyone out there, I'm not being paid for this, seriously. Because it is about. It's about facing your fears. It's about stepping into the unknown and just, you know, when you hold your nose, you think, oh, I'm going to jump in. Is it cold? Is it? Just go for it. Honestly, please do. I highly recommend, because once you do, you'll realize there's like a whole new world out there. And especially with business, abundance flows in all different kinds of ways. It's not all about finance, but obviously that helps. But when you're in that kind of mode, the energy flows and then it comes as well, and it all works together, and you attract it in such a good way, and then you attract your tribe, like you've said as well. So it's good.
Great advice. Thanks for coming on the show. It's great to have you here. And if anyone wants to reach out to you, then obviously it is the best way is the Heads to Minds website. And I will put that up in the details below. But thank you, and have a powerful, powerful September. We're nearly in September as we record this. So have a great one.
Thank you.